talk a little bit about tonight, but before I get into it, I just want to say tonight's kind of a big deal. It's actually my co-founder and my 18th wedding anniversary tonight, and we're celebrating it here with you guys. So, high five to everyone. So my name is McNealy, and I'm one of 6 co-founders of Original Crypto Coin. And I kind of titled this from shitcoin to legit coin because it's kind of been like an inside, internal secret. Everybody calls every altcoin, a shitcoin. And originally when we kind of began this project, it was going to be a shitcoin. And so I was sitting with one of our other co-founders, Eden, and her husband, and my wife on New Year's Day, and we were talking about what it would take to launch our own cryptocurrency. What would it take to launch a shitcoin? And why we were interested in that is we wanted to learn the process because we were looking at doing a startup and we were thinking that maybe an actual ICO would be a good way to raise some money for that. It was a kind of a peer-to-peer project. And then I said, let's do this because I think we can do this. And so a lot of people ask us about the name. Or we're not trying to, kind of freak anybody out or trick people. We meant it as original in the sense of unique. Because at the time, everybody is scamming everybody and not delivering. We said, let's not scam people and deliver something. So we thought that was kind of a unique proposition in crypto. So we've been bootstrapping this. So basically, we've been paying lots of money to launch this cryptocurrency. We certainly haven't made any money with it yet. All of us are just volunteers at this point. Our team has 6 people on it. We also have Lincoln is now our intern, just came on with us last week, and we also have an additional writer that's working with us to deliver our content. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but there's a unique LLC entity that only like 7 states have, called a low profit LLC. Utah happens to be one of them. So we set the company up that's managing the token as a low profit. And what that means is that you can actually run a business, but you're mandated to either do educational or charity work, but you can still actually earn a profit. So it's kind of a unique hybrid entity that we thought would be better suited for what we're doing with our project. So we are just, our main project focus is education. So what we're doing is, when we first started figuring out what we wanted to do with the crypto, we said, let's teach people how not to get ripped off, right? Let's start there, because there's a lot of people scamming people. And then when we started looking at crypto from what are the things that are kind of preventing adoption of crypto, is really clunky and sucks to work with, frankly. It's really hard. And to get adoption of anything new, it has to not only be just as good as what's currently available, it has to be better because you have to overcome that inertia. So for instance, the Visa, my debit card, that's easy, it works. Just trying to pay for something with a crypto is way harder than just using your debit card. And until it's not only just as easy as using your credit card or debit card, it's got to be easier if people are going to adopt crypto. Just how it is. People don't like to change, right? Anybody here like to change? No. People don't like to change. So we said, let's try to figure out how we can start laying that groundwork and educate people how to turn on a wallet, how to use a hardware wallet, things like that. A lot of stuff that James is even doing. But we're trying to do it in a couple different ways. The second thing is, when we started to do this token, we thought just doing the token process was just we're just gonna put it out there and not really have a use for it. But then once we started getting into this project, we started figuring out that actually we can make this token do something. So, a little overview, we are an ERC20 token. We did a supply of 100 billion. We gave away 56 billion tokens for free. Now guess what? That is not as easy as it sounds. So Mish, our main developer, who's not here tonight, he wrote a really interesting dApp so that when people took our downloads of our crypto, they had to pay the gas. So, but we gave away 5 million tokens apiece. And with what it's trading at today, we have actually given out to, I think originally we gave out about 8,000 downloads, give or take. There's been a lot of consolidation. But we've given literally thousands of people around the world something that's worth about $40 today. And so we didn't hype our token, we didn't take anybody's money, we gave a bunch of tokens away, and now they're worth something. I feel really good about that, which you can't say with a lot of projects out there right now. So what we did is we retained $44 billion. Part of those are going to be for the co-founders, because guess what? We're not getting paid. In fact, we are paying to do this project. So hopefully someday we'll actually make some money on this. But we also are keeping some tokens back for developers. So what we've done is we've outsourced our token, and we've made them available for other developers to use in their projects. And so one of the things that we're trying to do to incentivize the use of our tokens, actually we have a developer share that we can give away to people if they're willing to use our token in a project. That way, I believe everybody's got some skin in the game, and it makes sense for them to look at using our token. Now, we're not a security trademark. Every project says that, but most of them seem to be. If they took any money for their tokens, they probably are. We looked really careful at how we distributed our model. And in fact, we originally were gonna kind of build a lead gen database, make someone fill out a survey, something like that. But then when we looked at the analog would be free stock giveaways. And we found that if we actually would have collected email addresses and made people jump through hoops, like give us information that we could use to market, the SEC in the late 90s actually ruled that that is also considered an investment of money. And they actually successfully prosecuted several internet companies in the late 90s for giving away free stock. So we decided that we wanted to make sure that we were not a security. From all that we can see, we are a commodity, which is a nice, happier place to be as far as I'm concerned. Our distribution, we figured, was going to take about 6 weeks. It actually completed early in about 3 weeks. So we actually completed ahead of schedule, and we actually ended that with March 11th is when we actually got rid of the last of our tokens. So currently we're traded on 8 exchanges. Token value last week broke $1 million in market cap. We are not on CoinMarketCap yet, but we're followed on, you can follow our price on like CoinGecko and CoinCodex and a few others. Organically grown, our Twitter account can probably be about 10,000 followers tomorrow. Telegram's about 6,000 and growing. In the last 30 days, we've had 600,000 impressions just on our main Twitter account. We already have educational content being put out, unique long format articles on our blog. And yesterday, Lincoln and Mish, our lead developer, did a full live Zoom, how would you describe it? Just
the initial development project we did our live meeting on a Zoom meetup that should be available soon.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we want to help people, especially developers, actually learn the nuts and bolts about working with things like Solidity. So what we're doing is we're going to be doing live development code, basically online meetups, and that we're going to be publishing those for free. All right, in addition, we're actually going to be hosting educational conferences. And you could read that correctly as no ICO pitches allowed. Because guess what? I after the Miami Blockchain Conference, I have like a really bad taste in my mouth for like blockchain conferences. So we actually have the first one scheduled. It's going to be, we're building the site out right now at offchain.events. So we're going to be doing it at the Mark Miller Center on March 1st and 2nd. And it's going to be, actually hands-on, real education, real information, actually learning useful things. Not how you can get a Lambo next week. And in addition, we are actually currently working on our payment gateway. So we're going to be creating basically an ERC20 gateway that we can use our tokens, so for online retailers to accept our token and other ERC20 tokens. So use cases. So we're developing the gateway because I actually got 2 online retailers who've agreed to accept OCC tokens as payment. So we're going to be bringing those on board as soon as possible. And we can't announce who the game is, but we just got a major online startup that's going to be think of Pokemon Go, but for crypto. And they're going to be using our tokens featured directly in their app. So we've already got first 2 use cases, and I'm pretty excited that in 3 months of being launched, we broke $1 million market cap, and we actually already have customers for our shitcoin. So I kind of say it's going toward legitcoin at this point. So future plans. So we kind of really got excited about crypto when we started seeing that actually we're trying to make something legit happen. So we're going to be doing more live events. So after the first conference, we're going to look at maybe spreading them to other parts of the country, maybe other countries. We're going to be doing more developer projects. We've been talking to a lot of different developers about how they can also use OCC tokens within their apps. If anybody's interested, let me know. We're also looking at possibly within about a year going to our own blockchain. And so we're already trying to figure out what are the needs that we want in a blockchain, because Ethereum and Bitcoin are just too expensive to transact in at this point. And then the one thing I can't go into too many details, but there is going to be a large company in the peer-to-peer space, and they're considering using our tokens for in-app payment of that as well. And that's probably about 12 months out before we'll have more information about that, but I think it's going to be pretty interesting if it goes the way I think it's going to go. Okay, so if anybody's got any interest in looking at what we're doing, our website's up here. And also, we just got our first sticker. So if anybody wants a sticker, we got enough for most people here. I'm Rob McNealy. Thank you very much.